And I feel uncomfortable sitting here, but I have to sit, otherwise people can't see there. And I'm taking so much of valuable time to learn this Bhagavad course. And today is going to be something very special. And today also is Radha Ashmi. And at the end of the session, we'll be having flower offering to Radha and Krishna on this eve. But before that, we'll learn about sound is okay? Hear sound? Okay. There. So, we'll learn about who are we today. And when you're sitting here, maybe you have a lot of experience of the body, and I'm just trying to gather some wisdom from Bhagavad Gita and incorporate how it can help in the warrior wisdom, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So we start, if you remember last time we discussed, Arjuna was thoroughly confused. And we saw the conflict of duty, the work-life balance. Many had a question how the work-life balance will happen. And we saw Arjuna was completely confused. What is my duty? What should I do? Confusion, conflict in mind, and that is Arjuna was feeling with. And in that situation, Krishna speaks Bhagavad Gita. And as stated last time, we may not be able to cover each and every verse in one more time, but since we have divided the chapter 2, which is a big chapter, just cover some of the important concepts today, but we want to see the concepts and the flow of the whole chapter in the Bhagavad. Plus we have the YouTube videos. I know we went through the YouTube video of one verse and translation, so that may will help you. And you got the quiz also to solve some of the more difficult specifically. So, so before I begin, I want to pay my gratitude and obeisances to His Divine Grace, Session2 Swami Prabhupada. You see behind Swami Prabhupada. So because of him, the whole world got the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So he wrote the commentaries on Bhagavad Gita as it is, which transform the life not only in India but on the planet Earth. Also, I want to pay my obeisances to my spiritual teacher, His Grace Radhesham Prabhu, from whom I learned many of the things. Because, see, I'm also like, you may be thinking I'm sitting here, shaven-headed, or in saffron. But I was also like a normal person. But it's the knowledge coming from Guru Parampara which helps us to, anyway, helps us to understand the purpose of life. So, last time Arjuna was completely confused. And the acronym, anybody remembers the acronym for the last session? First chapter 1, what was the acronym? Tau, very good. And today's acronym is Gita. And G stands for, see, this word, universe is a university. This concept, universe is an university. So what does that mean? That this whole world has every circumstance in this world in a life lesson for us. And Krishna converts the battlefield of Kurukshetra as a classroom for us. And what lesson would come at a battlefield battlefield of Kurukshetra is difficult to comprehend in normal circumstances of life. And that's what Gita teaches us that how every situation in our life we can learn lessons from it. And that's what is revealing through the conversation of Krishna to Arjuna. That how he developed this battlefield in which Krishna is teaching the most subtle knowledge of the world. So verses 1 to 10, we see Lord Krishna chastises Arjuna. Lord Krishna chastises Arjuna and disapproves his so-called compassion. Then Arjuna's further doubts and confusion, and Arjuna surrenders to Krishna, and Krishna begins to speak. And Krishna first chastises Arjuna. See, such an open relationship Krishna and Arjuna had. So when we have a mentor, we need to open the relationship. And Krishna is not worried about Arjuna will think. He says, Kutastu Krishna Vidam Vishani Sampasthitam. Then how this, we are talking such big things, but I see very so bravely. You're talking like this, Anarya Krishna, you're not an Arya. You're talking like an Anarya. Arya means one who is having right culture, right? Values. Anarya means who doesn't represent it. Our Kirti Karmajana, Clarity Masmalaka, you have become weak-hearted Arjuna. What is speaking about? Then Arjuna says, Oh Krishna, you are Madhusudana. Means you have killed the devil? Madhu. But you have not killed your guru. You have not killed your grandfather. You want to kill my grandfather? You want to kill my teacher, Dharmacharya? There. So that is the meaning. So Krishna and Arjuna have a very open relationship. And they are discussing in an open relationship. And we need sometimes such kind of open relationships to understand the spiritual path of our problems. And then finally, Arjuna says, I'm confused. I'm ready to give up and go for begging. Sometimes people think if you become serious in spirituality, you will lose your duties or you will go away from your duties. But if you see opposite is happening, Arjuna is going away from his duties. He's saying, I'm ready to go and beg. But Krishna is saying, come on, you can't do that, come back. Do your duty. But what happens before learning Bhagavad Gita and after learning Bhagavad Gita? Before perspective of situation, the world is different. But when you learn Gita in the university of Gita, you see every situation of life completely different. And that's what Gita does to us. The same situations where we yell, cry, react, the same situations we can do. The same situations we can find a deeper meaning. And that's what Gita does to us. It gives a deeper meaning to our life. It gives essential meaning to our life, the wisdom of Bhagavad. So that's what is a special meaning of Bhagavad Gita that helps us. So one time one preacher was going to give a class, but his flight became 3 hours late. And he was thinking, and thinking maybe Krishna has some purpose in it. And while he was going in the flight, the person who sat nearby him revealed that he was thinking to commit suicide. And then he spoke him the message of Bhagavad Gita. And because spoken the message of Bhagavad Gita, he became a devotee. And Krishna understood Krishna has a bigger plan for me. This was a person who was the greatest. So we just let go when different situations in our life comes. We ask, what God has a plan for me? How do I use this situation? It brings something better. Today morning, last week, you remember we had a projector? Today morning, the projector was supposed to come here. And I got a message, it has gone to Shirandhar. And I'm also traveling to Shirandhar today. We have a 4-day camp for boys, youths there. We call it Utkarsha Festival. So I'm just traveling after this class. So we won't extend the class today because anyway I have to leave. And And then I was thinking, Lord, I don't know what's the plan. How will we serve the people who are going to come with the wisdom? And then an idea came. There's a screen, extra screen somewhere in the center, and in the morning we call a net cave. And I think it became much better than the projector now. So, and if the projector would not have gone, I would not have thought of this idea. So, in life, when we see through the different situations, reverse in life, what Krishna has a plan for me, what God has a plan for me, we can do much better than everything. And that's what Gita is teaching. Where Arjuna is totally confused, he finds a newer hope. He finds a newer. So challenges in our life are not necessarily maybe blocking us, maybe stepping stones of success. There. And that's what Gita is teaching us. There. So when you're finding difficulties in life and we learn our lessons from there, there's something that we can go way beyond. And Arjuna is confused. Better live by begging. Victory is anyway not certain. So even we win, we are not going to be happy, our relatives will not be there. That's what Arjuna said. And that also is not certain, then why to fight? So he's confused. And this is a verse where see Krishna did not give any knowledge in chapter 1. Because Arjuna did not submit it. But in chapter 2, Arjuna submits. Please recite after me. And this verse is there in your book. So this book, if you see book, has important verses. The most important verses are there, which will be numbered. In case you're not comfortable to see the screen, you can see here at the side. Kapandidosho Pahata Sabhata Krishna Mitanta Samuna Cheta Yashyasya Shitam Kruhitam Me Shishyasteham Shadivantam Prapannam I am troubled with weak heartedness, Kripada. O Lord, I become your student now. So to understand the knowledge of Gita, first we have to become student of Gita. We have come in a mode of a student to learn Bhagavad Gita. Then knowledge is started. Shishya has come and now Krishna started speaking the knowledge. Okay. So as I say, this universe is an university. And now we are coming to the most important knowledge. And what is that important knowledge? Our identity. Who are you? So you get quarter points. There we have some exercise here. So last question. If somebody asks you, who are you? What you will answer? Okay. What are the other answers? Anyone from Prabhuji? It can be any answer. It can be your name, it can be anything. We're just doing an exercise. I know this answer will look a little silly. Who are you? But let's deeply think about it and give an answer. Okay. Okay, human being. Yes. Anybody else? Yeah. Helpful people. Okay, and somebody who wants to help others. Okay. Anyone? Devotee of Krishna. Okay. Any answer from this side? Wrong or right doesn't matter. You're a passenger in the journey. Okay. You have an answer. Soul. Oh, very good. Yes, any other answer? Okay. Generally, when you ask people who are you, what people will say? They name. Now, well, let's come to the thing. See, why it's important to know who are you? Unless we know who are we, how can you be happy? How can you have a clarity of purpose? How can you control your mind? For example, one devotee was once coughing, and he told, give me cough syrup. And there was a doctor beside, devotee doctor, and he said, no, you need to go to a ECG. And when he did a ECG, it was a heart blockage. Now this thing this person couldn't see. So sometimes the symptoms are different and the cause is different. So the cause of simple mental distress, the root cause may be something more subtle, maybe more different. And that root cause is lack of identification. If we solve this problem, who are we? If we solve this problem, who are we? That would solve a lot of other problems for your face. And that's why the first question is, who am I? If that question is answered, many other answers are questioned in the journey. Who am I? Okay, we do an exercise. You see that there could be major personalities? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to give it a okay. Good. Any others? Mother Teresa. Okay, give a opportunity here also. Arthur? Okay. Okay, we get a chance to others also. Yes, yeah. Okay. Yes, yes. So thank you. Okay, yes. Now, we see. Yes, basically. The photo mastery. Now, can you say what is the difference between Einstein's, what is same? His photo as a child, as a young boy, and as Einstein. What is same in all the four? What remains same? Yeah. Name is same. Okay. Good. Okay. Then let's see more examples. When another way. Huh? But when I showed the faces, nobody could identify who is there. Right? And now Queen Elizabeth, her name would be different in Jack, became a queen. And people change their name. Sometimes somebody named Padam, they become pet. What is that name for you? Medical science says in 7 years, all your cells of the body are changed. That means one body has changed. In 50 years, 7 times body has changed. So what remains the same? I think loud voice in this. I never said something which remains the same. Same, all those people, through their childhood, everything, something remains the same, and that is so. And that's our identity. Who are we doesn't remain the same. Now another question. Okay, from childhood to old age, the soul identity remains the same. Now what happens at death? What happens at death? Is that question? So what happens at death? So we saw the same person was there, which is same. At the time of death, what happens? Yes. So there is Dehi and there is Dheya. Who is Dehi? The soul who resides in the body. And the body remains. So there is a soul, there is a settled body, and there is a gross body. Soul, settled body, and gross body. So the soul and settled body travels from one gross body to another gross body. And this is called transmigration. And this is the first knowledge Krishna started giving to Arjuna. Let's recite one verse now. If you see the next verse, 2.30, let's recite this verse. Deilo yasmin yadhave kamaram yopanam jada tata veham prapte Dira Tatranamo Yati Dehino Yasmin Yatha Dehe Pamaram Yopanam Jada Tata Dehantar Prapte Dira Tatranamo Yati The Dehino, the Deha means the body, Dehi means the soul. The embodied soul who is living in this body. Kamara Yapanam. As you saw in the photo, right? The person remains the same. Tatha Dehantar Prapti. So when he changes Deha Antar, he changes another body, then also he remains the same. The person remains the same. And the sober person, wise man, is not regretted. And this is a knowledge of soul. And this is the beginning of the knowledge which made a turning point in the life of Arjuna. This knowledge made a turning point in the life of Arjuna. And that stone is called soul transmigration. So this is gross body, this is subtle body, there is soul. And one gets it. The soul and subtle body goes to the gross body. Now, for the soul, there is no birth, nor death. Na jatasya no mrityu. So, the soul, there is no death. हम कौन है? हम मर. We are eternal. This is not death for us. Death is for this body. That is not for me or for you, but it is for anybody. There is no death. Death is only for the body, and it's just a change from one body to another. One time, in America, two very free athletes was there, and everybody would make their fun. They were very frustrated in life. But I happened to come to this one temple, and a devotee was giving a class like this. And he said, "You're not his body, his spirit soul." They felt so happy. We are not this bodies. And we are not this mind, we are not this intelligence, we are not the policy. So when we understand this, our life becomes much happier and better. So some participant asked me, what does God exist in other thing? So first let us understand who we are, does soul exist? But the body is all in all. Then we talk about God. So let us understand who we are. हमें यही नहीं पता हम कौन है आगे क्या करेंगे. And let us say, Astoma, Astoma, Jyotirgamaya, Tamsoma, Jyotirgamaya, Astoma, Sagamaya, Mrityuma, Avargamaya. To Mrityu Samvit Kiya. So when you get this knowledge, you travel from Mrityu to Amrit. The Amrit of the soul, Amrit of the Atma. And that's the first step of knowledge of Krishna. So he doesn't come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. Is eternally exists. We never die. Is upon eternal and existing Brahma is not swaying, the body is swaying. And just for you see, from childhood to old age, again, dying, nothing makes body. So body is mental, soul is spirit. Body is not conscious, soul is conscious. Even the robots. Nowadays, robots also speak like humans, right? AI generated robots. AI robotics is a very advanced state today. But they will speak like human, but are they having any consciousness that they are humans? That consciousness is only with us. We are conscious, we feel. Robots can speak the way humans do, and may pretend, and more better, they may mimic them there. But they cannot have a consciousness of what they are doing. But we have a consciousness, Chetana. Body changes, soul never changes. Body is temporary, soul is eternal. Body is dead, soul is alive. So not Krishna told we are not the body or the spirit. Now see this. Are you able to see this picture? Probably you can come a little closer. Let's look at Madhavi's side. Can you come please closer to the screen? That makes more sense. And chairs also can pull it like a front. So I'll show you one video also. So it's more closer to the screen, more closer you can come. And more closer we are, more better understanding goes with us. So you see this machine, when you see this, what are they able to perceive? Yes, very good. So can you explain? Can somebody explain it? What's happening here? Krishna. And then what the mechanism is happening? Somebody like to explain how you see. You see a driver in the reason of heart?
They're always looking outside, not inside.
This is okay. You see this driver in the heart? In this machine. How the driver is seen? There's a screen, a small screen. You're able to see the small screen? So what is reflected in this hand mirror, that's what it sees. Now amazingly, we can't see ourselves. We need a mirror to see ourselves. बस shape बनाना होगा. बिना mirror के इसका गड़बड़ हो जाता है. Right? If you have to make your hairstyle, you need a mirror or not? Now, we are something which we cannot see. How amazing it is. Have you ever been anything thought? We are, and we can't see ourselves, who are we? ये क्या मजा आता है? So if we have to see ourselves, we also need a mirror like this one. Right? And when you see a mirror inside, how I look. And that's what I see, how my face of the machine looks like. See, he is not seeing himself. What is he? Face of the machine. Then he is having hearing. Our sensors again. Our voice is negative. What is there? The sensor. And through the sensor it is hearing. Then plus, on this, and how is he controlling this whole machine? There are brakes, the accelerator, and it's working. Do you find any similarity with this and us? Do you find any similarity between this diagram and us? Okay, that's advanced knowledge. But before that, what we're learning is, I think it's a light lesson, but little advanced lesson will cover in the advanced lessons. From the today's lesson perspective, what you see?
We are training the body. So we have a small minus body which we are training.
So we are also setting, so soul sits in the region of the heart. And sitting in the region of the heart, it experiences what is happening in the body and it drives the whole body. And at the time of death, it leaves this body and gives another body. Isn't it amazing? What happened at the time of death? Our body काम करना बंद कर दिया. So it will leave this body and get another body, another machine. Just like you give up one car and drive another car, same way we are driving this. And that's what Krishna is telling the 18th chapter. Hil deshe Arjuna Tishtati. And side by side is Paramatma, who's guiding the soul to drive the vehicle. So, God is always training us through different situations of life and just experiencing them. Now, how many of you are not there in the last class? You joined first today? Please raise your hands. Okay. So we did an exercise the last week where, okay, we'll do that exercise, the time is there. We'll do that exercise again. You know the exercise we do? And then from there we understand what is subtle body and what is soul. We'll derive it. Right? Are you ready for the exercise? To get a feel, now we're talking about soul something. But you say, what is the soul? I'm still not understanding. Now, Asharyavat Pashyati, Asharyavat Shinmoni. So let's get an idea of what this soul is. So we go back to yesterday's exercise. Close your eyes. Remember the technique, the last technique you've gone through. Think of the enjoyments you're doing, the good food you ate, what all things you are doing. Remember all that. Closing your eyes. Okay, open your eyes. So last time, if you remember, we discussed where you went to the picnic spot. But you are sitting over here. So what went to the picnic spot? Mind, subtle body. That's called a subtle body. Though my gross body is sitting here, but my mind intelligence can travel all over the universe. That's the power of mind. It's the power of mind. Now, when you remembered it, you felt good. How many of you felt good by this meditation? You felt good? Who felt good? Who experienced that happiness? That's still the soul. Is it difficult to understand soul? So soul, what we are experiencing, the person, mind has gone there. But are you able to see something separate from that mind also? Who's driving that mind to go here and there? And who's experiencing what the mind thoughts are going on? And that's true. Does it make sense that there is somebody apart from the body? First, you understand there is something different from the body, which is not brain, which is not heart. It is subtle body, the mind. And who experience in this whole thing is that soul. But because we are covered with so many layers, we are not able to understand there is something beyond. Now also you may be feeling some confusion, that's fine with it. Because we are not yet self-realized. At a stage of self-realization, you can relax it. At a present stage, you can infer it. Through this exercise, you can infer that we are conscious, right? We are conscious, our mind went through how we are feeling, and the consciousness is a symptom of there. So ये आत्मा there. So every moment we are aware, and that awareness is of the soul, and that's me. And when we understand this right real identity, all other thing takes place. How to work-life balance, the purpose of life. Then everything comes into balance. So yesterday I did not answer about how to balance. I just showed an analogy of finding difficulty in balancing, but didn't answer. Krishna also didn't answer what he should do. First is giving him knowledge. And then based on that conceptual knowledge, then we talk about art of work. Krishna further will talk about how to work in this world and art of work. So one principle of art of work we learn is universe is a university. Try to learn from every situation. So now 11 to 30 Krishna talk about don't limit unnecessarily. All individuals exist eternally and changing bodies is natural. Tolerate duality is inherent eligibility for liberation. And as I talk about that machine, same way this analogy comes. Now, somebody can ask, okay, before that, now all of you agree we are not as body or spirit soul, any doubt about this? Nobody has a doubt? Yes.
So when I'm thinking something like, let's say some people are, some people are kind people and some people are angry people, some people are good and some are bad. Is that their soul is different? Or is that
The soul is same, the conditionings of the soul are different. And that's why everybody is a pure person, but they're conditioned by the subtle body. And everybody can become a good person. Because originally everybody is good. But because of the conditions they have got, they got. And that's what spirituality focuses on. That everybody can become pure. Everybody, no matter whoever you are, there is a hope for you. There is a way for you. No matter who are you, what? There. And that's what Gita finds the hidden potential in us. There. Yes. Now when it comes to karma, so Gita has 5 subjects. Jiva, I think one of the first questions was this also. Jiva, Ishvara, Karma, Prakriti, and Kala. If you master these 5 subjects, you can see this world in a very different way. If you can see how these 5 things are interacting with each other. And if you attend this course, during the journey of the course, will show you exactly how these things are working. Logically and scientifically, not just your belief. Because it's a science, Gita is a science. But it's not a science you do in the laboratory. It's a science you do in the laboratory of life. This is a science which you prove in the laboratory of your life. We make our life as a laboratory. And just like your formulas work in a laboratory, the principles of Gita work in the laboratory of life. You apply it and
you said subtle body also along with the soul migrates.
yes.
Next birth also is the same.
Yes, therefore personality matches. I'll come to it when I talk about reincarnation. Okay, now what I'm saying is, now you see this picture? What do you see in this picture? This bird is dying. And what this lady is doing? What this lady is doing? Huh? And this is the golden cage. What is lady is doing? Polishing the cage and forgetting the past. So do you think she is doing the right thing? No, are we not doing the same in our life? Are we not doing the same in our life? Yes, very amazing point. What's the name of the game? Vijay. It's a very amazing point you say. See, now we realize we are not just body, we are spirit soul. All of every how effect you are not just body, spirit soul. Please raise your hand if you got time after our presentation. Yes, any doubts? You can. Okay. So, how much time do you give to your soul? Do you give how much time do you give to your soul? If you see morning to evening, have a time with the body. How much time do you give to the soul? What is the food for the soul? Ask the question. And that's why we are not satisfied in our lives. And that's the reason we are always having disturbed. Okay. All of this stuff. Because when you are hungry, you're very irritable. So when our soul is hungry, you're very irritated because we are hungry. And the पेट शांत होता है ना, उस वक्त दिमाग भी शांत होता है. The same way, when you give food for the soul, you can live a much better life, a much happier life, a much balanced life. Why? We have feed food for the soul. And what's the food for the soul? What is this food? Now for a driver, suppose a driver driving a car. The food for car is petrol. Food for driver is roti. The driver will put lot of petrol. उसको भूख लगेगी तो पेट्रोल नहीं खाएगा. At the same time, petrol is necessary. Petrol नहीं होगा गाड़ी नहीं चलेगी. So same way, we have to eat. We need to give food to the body also. But where is the food for the soul? It has a spiritual. And when this soul connects to God, it finds this food. And that's what the bhajan kirtan we do, chanting the names of the Lord we do. We go sing to the Lord. So that is a food for us. And that's why when you come to a temple, you feel peaceful. That's why when you do special activities, you feel peaceful. So we may not reason like you won't look at it. People will ask a question. But that's the spiritual food. Right? That's the spiritual food. So you want to experience that food? Please raise your hand if you want to experience this food. And this experience of this food is done through chanting the holy names of the Lord. Right? So we will do this chanting 54 times. It will take from 7 minutes. I wanted to introduce it at the end of the class, but since I have a train, I thought better introduce it early in case I go out there. Right? So let's do this chanting. Questions will take after chanting. There. So don't take it, it is some faith we are chanting something, but that's the food for the soul when you connect it to the life. And when you do it, you feel it. You feel yes, there, and today is a very special day, is Radha Ashmi. Right? We are talking to Janmashtami. Now, Radha Rani's mercy is more than Krishna's mercy. So that way, today's day is more auspicious even than Janmashtami. If Radha gives mercy to somebody, Krishna automatically gives mercy. So on this day, if you call their names and take that spiritual food, it's very, very auspicious to begin this ceremony. So you ready to begin this ceremony? Yeah. Okay. So you get some beats. Give me one beat. Okay, I'll chant on finger only because 54 we are doing. Yeah, one beat exercise show. Okay. So please repeat after me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Yeah. So these are the personalities who started this chanting. This is not the mantra. This is just for the beginning we chant. And the mantra is this, as a sign in the Kirtan, right? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let me say why you saying Rama, not Ram. Some people ask. Actually, there is a different pronunciation in Hindi and Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, there is Ram. But a mantra is in Hindi, it is called Ram. But a mantra is given in Sanskrit. And in Sanskrit, for making it full, it becomes Rama. Not Rama, Rama, Krishna, the R. That also is counted. So if you learn Sanskrit pronunciation, it is pronounced as Hare Krishna, Krishna. And that's why S and has a dot below. Because it's not N. Krishna, Krishna. Then that comes there. What comes in the Hindi literals there. So that way we pronounce it. So now we will do a chorus chanting. We'll be together randomly counting 54 times on my fingers, and I'll show you the. So I count, so we'll do it 54 times because generally we do 108 times on a beat. But since we have less time to cover there, so we'll chant 54 times. Right? So I will be counting on my fingers. So you can. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Very Krishna. I think I want me to complete one third. Very completed and for one chance. So how do you say something different? Okay. Yeah. So this is part of the food color. So, and beauty is in this world, generally, it is the all other Vedic scriptures talking about this knowledge and power. But people should not have austerity to understand you are not just body or spirit. But in Kali Yuga, this is a very simple method given to us to understand you are not just body or spirit. So we talk about a theory, right? This is the practice. So in Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga is given. So this chanting is a part of Bhakti Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga is very simple to do. Krishna tells in the 9th chapter, so Sukho Karto Apne. Whereas the Jnana Yoga is very difficult to realize the same thing. Means Jnana Yoga means go to Ashtanga Yoga, go to Himalaya, do all this thing. It is not possible in today's age. But this Bhakti Yoga is very simple to find. And we can experience and bring the true joy of the soul in our life. Now, the last part is repeating. Now, how do we believe soul exists? Is there some proof? The question may come, okay, what is the proof of? So the answer is, the proof of soul is, see, one intuitively I told who is feeling. So you can experience you have something different from this body and mind. So that way, one way. When somebody dies, what do we say? When somebody dies, what do we say? He has passed away. He has passed away. So who is the one who passed away? That means there is some understanding that there is somebody different from the body. Another thing, how the body experiences. There is a singer named Pam Reynolds. She underwent brain surgery. In order for her to get brain surgery, her heart was stopped completely. And the brain had put very high waves in the ears. And after the successful surgery, she came and said, I was over the operator table and I could see what the doctors see the operation and also hear what the doctors are talking. The doctors say, okay, what are you talking? They say they needed some flesh for the brain, so they were cutting the left. They found the left arm is a little weak, so they cut the right side. And she told me. So she found herself out of the body. It's called out of body experience. So I'm going to show one video of reincarnation. This is Anne Stevenson who has done a research on this subject called reincarnation. Because if there is a soul, then you should take another body or not. That's what transmigration we talk about. So there should be some people remembering their past life, we should match. So here's a case study of a boy named James Rennick, who was a pilot in World War II. And he remembered his past life as a 2-year-old child. And that is being documented. So you want to see that video? It's there. And coupled with that video, we need to and have the Radha Street Festival. So it's a video of final binary. And see, there are Einstein has found around 3,000 cases of reincarnation all over the world. So it's not a reincarnation Punjanam, you know, Punjanam ki yaad usko. This doesn't happen only in India or Hindu families. This is a story which happened in a Christian family in America. You're able to connect with this? So this is, see, James Houston was his name in the last life. And this life, the name is James Lenninger. So now this is a small boy. But his sister in the past life become my grandmother. And he treated her like a sister. And exactly identify all the siblings, identify all the Japanese shit, and when he was 2 years old, and she's saying, I think probably managed no one left. So a question may come, see how a child can remember, unless there's a reincarnation, where he was in past life, but there's Houston, now he died and now taking birth as an small boy, and that's a Bhagavad Gita is talking. Now a question may come, okay, why don't these few people remember, not everybody? हमको तो याद नहीं है कौन कौन Why would you feel? See, if some death happened in somebody's family, can you live happily? So much trauma people live in. I know one case in Bareilly where a person remembered his past life. So he was taking care of this life family and last life family also. So just think if you remember everything of the past life, can you live this life? So that's why in general cases people forget their lives. And you see, all these people who remember their past life, they're quite stubborn people. They can't live this life properly for past lives, normally are haunted. So in general, when a child takes a birth, the skull breaks into four, and all these four pieces come together. There's a time all the memory is deleted for the child. But in some cases where there is traumatic death, people will remember the past life just to show reincarnation happens where that is body listens. Right? So this is a proof of reincarnation. Now, coming to the point, how this knowledge can help me in work-life balance. See, when you understand who you are, you can manage your mind calmly or not. And when you manage your mind and things calmly, you know the purpose. And one principle in work-life balance is hold your plans lightly and hold the purpose tightly. So when you make plans, it's not they always go the way you want. See, many techniques are teaching plan making. But unless the focus is very clear, we learn to handle our mind, called mind management. And mind management we can only do when we are in knowledge. And that's how the Bhagavad Gita teaches us the art of work. So now after the knowledge of soul, what comes? How to work in this world so that we can live a very balanced life. And that's going to be our next session. Right? And that's what we're going to learn in the next session, art of work. And here the shloka goes, Karnana Vadikarashtu Mahareshu, Tanachana Pagetu, Mate Sangas Karmani. So therefore I have made this whole second chapter into two classes because we could have done justice in one class of the whole thing. So today we went in understanding the whole concept of soul. What is the food for the soul? The food for the soul is mentioned in the ninth chapter. But we don't want devotees to wait up till the end of the verse. So we introduce it in the beginning. You say, where is it written in Gita you should chant? It's written, Sarvatam Kirti Ravitam. Krishna says this. Krishna says constantly chant 5 minutes. You might read that. They just said you can chant 5 or 10 minutes a day. There. So Krishna is giving us principles in the 9th chapter of Gita. There. And then how understanding our real identity helps us in doing everything better in life. Because we don't get fear. Like during COVID time, see when you understand, I didn't get a time to talk about how did this knowledge help me in my life. Right? See, I'm also like one of you. But at a point of time in 2004, I was at what had happened, some boy was troubling me. Then I asked my mother what should I do. Mother would read Hanuman Chalisa. And while reading Hanuman Chalisa, I got a Bhagavad Gita. And when I started reading this one verse so, that would have brought a transformation in my life. And I became very fearless. Anybody alone is body, nobody can harm you. And if somebody harm you, God is there to protect you. There. Krishna is always there to protect us. There. So this fearless things that leads us to so much anxieties in this world, lead us free from so many of problems, and can lead a calm, focused life while doing the duties of this world with a higher purpose. It is a whole essence, and now it's 6:50 already, and we want to have a Diversity Festival. And if any of your questions, so one thing you can talk to the facilitators, or you can even see in the group, all of you there as a part of the WhatsApp group, right? So what we can do, if anyone of you have questions, uh, what we can do in the WhatsApp group, they can put the question, or you can ask after the class, or if you have any other questions, you're there in the WhatsApp group, right? Ashish, right? So Ashish will put the four numbers, WhatsApp number, two WGs and two Matatis. So you can respectively answer the questions you have, and they will pass on to me. I will answer, or they will answer. Okay, so throughout the week we can have more learning, and the next week again we are back with art of work. So I'm going to Shivanda, we pray for all of you, all of us, that yes, we can grow in this journey there, and we'll meet on next Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So today was a wonderful session on knowing our real identity and incarnation. So probably